What's up, guys? It's Robert, and I'm sitting in front of my Vmix console tonight. I wanted to show you guys some of the things I've been doing to Vmix to kind of streamline my workflow, make the productions look a little better as far as transitioning in and out, and then some things that I think every Vmix shortcut setup should have to kind of help keep everybody on the same kind of page, and if something screws up, you can easily fix the problem. So this specific scene that I'm working on right now. We have a phone in prayer conference that happens every Tuesdays and Thursday nights. And the way it works is we have a 1-800 number that we can have thousands of people dial into and be a part of. But we do like to broadcast it onto our website and as well as our Facebook page. So we have a voice over IP client, Google Voice on the computer. We dial into the number, and then we are able to pull the audio from Google Voice and put it on to the live stream. So because of the different amount of people that are on here, my different hosts that I have for this show, I have different graphics for each host. And as they start speaking and go up on the screen, I throw those different graphics up to show what host is speaking, because guests can't put a face to the voice, and this gives them the ability to put a face to the voice on the phone, so when they meet us in person, they can have an idea of who they're speaking with. Now, as you can see, it can be kind of complicated trying to scroll through here and find who's speaking. So what I've done is I've built some presets here, some shortcuts on the Vmix web controller. And if you don't know, Vmix has a web controller. It's really easy to access what your IP address is for it. So it's under settings, it's under web controller, and then it'll give you the IP address of your local machine web controller there. And then you just set up your shortcut list here. There's two different types of shortcuts. You have a local shortcut, which means that it is for this, you see right there, local shortcut, this preset only, or you have a global shortcut. So like my master cut here, which is a cut broadcast control, that is not a local shortcut, it is global to any preset that gets loaded into this Vmix, granted that the same content loads into that preset. So, like I said, these graphics here, it's really simple. You know, this is my pastor's graphic. So, like I say, my expansion director, Bill, who loves to talk on the phone all the time, he gets on and starts speaking, tap his name there, and boom, it's right up on the screen. Or my associate pastor, Dave Ratcliffe, if he pops up, starts talking, I can throw him up on the screen. Or if we have a guest that starts speaking, or somebody who has a prayer request, who wants to they've been flagged by the moderator to speak. When they start speaking, obviously with 50 to 60 people speaking over the time span of 2 hours, it's nearly impossible to get graphics pre-done for that. And then it's extremely hard to keep track of the names, of spelling someone's name right. So what I did is build just a simple graphic here, calling out for your prayer request. But this makes it very easy to load whoever is going to be speaking at that time. You just tap it and you're ready to go, versus having to scroll down here, find the person's picture, and then click on the overlay. You can just simply come here and tap on their name. Now, because this is a phone show, sometimes conversations get fairly private, and they don't necessarily need to be broadcast to the entire internet. So if that starts to happen, what I've done is I have built in what's called a phone line emergency cut, and it works both ways. So this phone system we run, we can pull audio from the phone line, or I can send audio to the phone line. So on Wednesday night services, or Sunday morning services, or any type of special service we're doing, we can dial into that 1-800 number system, and then we can send audio from Vmix to the phone system. We use Google Voice and a app on our computers called RIO Recable, which is a software that it's a virtual patch bay practically. But the way this works here is that, let's say that somebody is starting to get very personal on the phone, it needs to be cut. I have an emergency phone line playback cut button here. So if I push that button, you can see the green there, the phone line is activated. If I tap this button, now the phone line is no longer activated, and the sound from the phone line will not be going out to my peeps on the live stream. Now it also works the other way as well. So you see here we have our bus A, and bus A is our phone send. So this goes back out into the RIO cable repatch system, and then patches an audio output from here back into Google Voice, and I can also activate or cut that bus in as needed. So if there is something going on the live stream that doesn't necessarily pertain to the people on the phone, or for example, before our service starts, we have pre-music playing obviously on our live stream. People on the phone line want to sit there and chat up until service starts at 10:50, so I can kill the phone line audio going to that system, and then as soon as service starts, I can send audio out to the phone system. Another thing I've programmed here is what's called my master audio emergency cut. Same thing. If somebody starts to get vocal on the live stream, or the music just starts to sound horrible, or any reason why you would want to cut the master feed automatically, it's a button here. It says master audio emergency cut, and you can see there it will toggle the master bus. Green is active, gray is inactive. I have a start stream, Facebook start stream only. So that is going to be stream setting number 1, which is a direct stream to Facebook for us. So if I tap that here, you'll see that Vmix will start to try to connect to our stream, and there it goes. And we'll stop it so we're not broadcasting. And then start Facebook web stream is the same thing. If I tap that, it goes to our churchstreaming.tv account, which then rebroadcasts to our website on embedded players, broadcast to our Facebook page, and broadcast to our YouTube account as well. Now the biggest thing I've got set up here, and this is going to be the more in-depth of how I set this up, are my master kills and my master return. What I mean, like return from off air. So as you can see here, I've got a background going there on the back there, which is the on the phone background. I got overlay number 1 up, which is Pastor Brandon. Overlay number 2, which is this Nation prayer meeting tonight with the phone number and the code. Overlay number 4, which is my bug in the top corner. Now, let's say for some reason, I need to cut this feed immediately. I need to cut my audio. I need to cut everything. And let's go ahead and just toggle my background music. And I do have my background music on a toggle as well. So you can see my background music's going now. So let's say for some reason I need to cut the stream immediately. So I have a master kill all feeds. I tap that, boom, my audio is gone, all my overlays are gone, and it goes to a loop that's with our church shield logo. It says please stand by. We will start shortly, and that is kind of our default that gets us on, off the air. I also have color bars down here as well that for some reason, if I needed to cut to the color bars, it also does the same thing. It kills all the overlays. It kills the master audio bus. As you can see, the master audio bus is turned off. So it puts us in a safe mode where no audio is going to go out to the stream. No video is going to go out the stream besides this. Now, Robert, how do you return back to being on air? Well, that's a great question. I have this thing here that says LBC logo. It is a input, and I have set up triggers on both this please stand by video and the shield return video. I'm about to show you in a second. That lets me do multiple things at one time. So let's check this out. So my shield logo, tap that. You hear my music starts back up. My bug comes back in. My master audio bus is turned back on now, and I am now ready to transition back into whatever I would transition back into. So for example, our on the phone background, and then somebody's name there, and then maybe the lower third information graphic that has all of our phone numbers on it. And like I said, you're here, and everything's working great. The music's playing. Oh, we need to get off the air real quick. A master emergency kill all feeds. Boom, that's done. So how do we accomplish that? How do we do multiple tasks on one shortcut? Because if you know the Vmix shortcuts, you know that when you come to a shortcut only lets you do one function at a time. You can't assign multiple functions at a time. Well, it's very simple. You pick a dedicated input. So for example, let's look at LBC please stand by here. And you can do what's called triggers. And these triggers you can tell the system, when this input does A, I want you to do X to this other input. So for example, when this input is triggered, you can see here I have on transition in, which means when I come in, I want you to overlay input 1 off, overlay input 2 off, overlay input 3 off, and master audio off. Which means that as soon as this video transitions in, Vmix is going to turn all those functions off. On the flip side, if we go here to the LBC Shield Loop video, and I click on settings here, bring that up, you'll see here that it says on transition in, master audio on. On transition in, overlay input 4 on. On transition in, overlay 1, 2, 3 off. On transition in, 15 hours of audio instrumental on. On transition out, 19 and a half hours of audio off. Now that's our audio track. It's like a royalty-free track that's like 5 hours long of just like pads. So let me show you how that sounds like. So we're on our, please stand by, right? And I'm going to go to the LBC Shield logo, which is going to bring my bug back up, turn my audio back on. It's going to turn on, not only turn the master bus on, but it's also going to come down here and specifically trigger this input audio to turn on. Now here's the cool thing. So let's say this is a video package that I'm going to, or let's add a video package real quick. Video, LBC Easter final. So this is our Easter intro video we did. Now this video is going to play, and if I trigger that video to start playing right there, you notice my audio stopped on that input. So let's trigger that LBC Shield logo again. So we're sitting there with the LBC Shield logo, and then whatever source we're going to go to next, whether it be a camera or a video package or whatever, as soon as I hit quick play, that audio stops. How that was accomplished was over here again. I said on transition out, audio of that source turned off. That was one click of a button to make all that happen. Like I said, a lot of these shortcuts for this are specific to this actual. Let me turn this off. A lot of these shortcuts are specific to this particular preset on Vmix. I do have other presets, so let me load another Vmix preset in, and I'll show you what our live camera switching presets look like, because this is more of a live streaming from the house type deal where we're sitting in this COVID-19. My actual live streaming setup at the church to switch cameras looks a little different. So let's check out what that looks like. All right, so this is our media production machine at the church. I'm team viewered into it right now, just to give you guys an idea of what the presets shortcuts look like on this machine. This is a machine that's actually a live production. You see there's a lot more cameras hooked to this machine, 5 cameras, 5 different scenes you can pull from. Lower third, lyric overlays, proclaim overlay, proclaim cuts, and then, like I said, my typical master emergency cut, phone line emergency cut, master audio cut, so on and so forth. So let's go through and look at what these actually do here real quick. So Cam A, let's change views real quick here. There we go. So there's our multi-view. Now all the cameras are kind of off right now. Some of the capture devices are still going. So just like it shows here, Cam A, slow fade, it's going to slow fade to camera A. It's going to do the same thing for B, same thing for C, for D, and for E. Cam A direct cut is a, let's go ahead and go to B. So Cam A direct cut is going to be a direct cut to that camera. Cam A, the preview, is just like it said, whatever camera you decide to click over here on the preset, it's going to make that camera the preview. Preview cut is going to be whatever's in preview, it's going to cut to it, or whatever's in preview. We have also preview fade, so whatever's in the preview you can fade. And it's kind of repetitive because yes, you have a direct cut to each camera, so you can slow fade to each camera, or you can direct cut to each camera, and then you also have a preview. And yeah, that's kind of confusing. I guess you wouldn't necessarily need the cut to preview or fade to preview. Sometimes you kind of like to have a camera up in the preview window so you can get a good idea of what's going to be happening, and then you can manually decide to switch over to that video. Our next presets is going to be our our lower third for our pastor. So that's going to turn on overlay number 1. Kill overlay number 1. Proclaim overlay is going to overlay the Proclaim output, whatever the projector sees on the stage. Whatever our iMag is seeing on stage, that'll be on the live stream. We use this to when our pastor is doing his Bible verses or reading Bible verses, or if he's referencing an image that he has sent to the tech team for that day that's going to be on the screen, then we can also put that as a full screen on the live stream without actually cutting to it and messing up an audio feed or any other things that are set. It'll overlay it. It's like a graphic. The next one is the lyric overlay. That is a lower third overlay that overlays our lyrics in the bottom part of the lower third. We achieve that obviously on our main projector. They're centered up in the center of the screen there. We achieve that by going to the overlay settings down here, and then you can actually, I'll click on them real quick and show you. Go into the overlay settings there. Make this big screen big. And then if you see overlay number 3, it has been cropped and pulled down to give that lower third effect there. And we operate this on a tablet, but I'm at home, not on the local network, so obviously I can't show you on a tablet, so I got to open up in a browser window. See, where were we? Lyric overlay, the bug overlay, pretty self-explanatory. Push the bug up and down. Proclaim, fade. This is going to make Proclaim the master. So if we have a video package playing from Proclaim, we can fade to it. It takes the audio from Proclaim. So if the front of house guys forget to mix the audio in, it automatically is sent over here. The next thing we've got is the intro start. Show you that in a second. Logo standby, music holding, standby emergency shut, phone line emergency cut playback, master audio emergency cut, chord start, stop, start Facebook stream only, and then start Facebook/web stream. And those are like on the other preset I just showed you. So what I'll show you here is the intro, start, stop the show. This does a couple of different things here on this machine. Since we have some different setup here, let's look and see what those actually do. So that's going to be this intro here, which is our shield intro, which looks like this. So that's how all of our live stream start, is with that right there. So what we have set here is a couple of different triggers. Let's see what those triggers look like. So we have on transition in, restart this and that input. So when we hit transition in, always ensures that this video is going to start at the beginning of the intro. Audio off, online, audio off, the audio microphone, which is the audio console hooked up over USB. Pause the background music, audio off the background music. That's in there twice. It shouldn't be in there twice. We can remove that one. So audio off, background music, on completion. This is really important. On completion, fade to Elgato game capture. On completion, master audio on. On completion, audio on. We can actually take this out because we want to make sure the master audio is on. And then master audio on our console. So what that says in non-techie nerd term is that when I click, when I hit quick play to transition this element into the live stream, the computer is going to make sure it starts at the beginning. It's going to turn off the live sound coming from the soundboard. So there's no background bleed, it's just the intro. It's going to pause the background music. It's going to turn off the background music as a live audio feed. And then when it is done playing at the end of its element, it's going to automatically fade to our camera A, and it's automatically going to make sure the master audio bus is on. And it's also going to make sure that the master audio input from the console is on as well. And it looks a little something like this. So we're on the shield loop, which is kind of where we sit before service starts. And then we will hit the intro. Notice the background music went away. The audio console is off. Both bus A and bus main A and bus A are going. And then when this is done, it's automatically going to transition to camera A. And now the audio from the console is on, so on and so forth. Another thing we have here is the shield intro. which is kind of our standby. So we've got let's just put this up real quick. So we got a video playing, and then let's say we've got an overlay up, right? We got all this going here. And we decide we want to go to our intro. I hit quick play. You notice those go away. My music goes ahead and starts like it's supposed to. Automatically starts my background music again. So that is preset. Intro, which is logo standby music holding. So we've just got done with let's say we just got done with doing rehearsal, and all of our stuff is up and we're getting ready to go live. We can hit this logo standby music holding. Give y'all full logo standby music holding. Puts our background music up. Stops whatever input is active and going, stops whatever overlay is up and going, and then we get ready to go intro, start the show. And when that's done, it will automatically transition in. Now I'm going to re-edit the video so the fade on it's not such an abrupt cut. The other thing is the standby master emergency cut. Boom, that's done. What that's going to do is it is automatically going to start. Let me get back to my screen here. I'm a little lost. It's automatically going to cut both of the main buses. It's going to stop the background music, turn the background music off. And I have the background cue in a lot of my things because the background music tends to play all the time. So it just ensures that it's gone. Now the cool thing with this one is I also have some transition out triggers on this as well. So you can see here on transition in, and then on completion, fade, audio back on, which is a pretty cool thing that I set up there to make sure that even if this transitions away, so for example, if I want to go straight from this to a video package, we make sure our audio turns back on. So those are kind of my shortcuts that I use for Vmix. There are a ton of different things you can do, replay shortcuts. It's all super customizable to your need. So I hope that this video's went a little long. I know, I'm sorry it did. But hopefully that kind of helps you guys out on shortcuts and what you can and can't do. Can do with Vmix. It's kind of unlimited possibilities there. But thanks for watching, guys. See you later.